program.
Cheeky fucks. I mean, when you know where a button is, you want that button to be there when you return, right?
Move the fucking Zoom cocksucking bitch fucking. Barbarian is a 2022 American horror thriller film written and directed by little Zachary Krieger in his solo screenwriting and directorial debut. The film stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin and Not Very Long. The plot sees a woman who finds out that the rental home she reserved has been accidentally double booked by a man not knowing of a dark secret within the dwelling. The film grossed $45 million worldwide on a production budget estimated between $4 to $4.5 million, somewhere around there.
Yeah, seemed cheap.
Yeah,
seemed cheap. How did you first become aware of this film?
You sent me a link to a YouTube trailer and said we should do this one, and I watched the trailer and went, never heard of it, but all right, whatever.
Sweet. What trailer did I send you? It was the Justin Long one, eh?
Yeah, the one you sent me is the only one I'm aware of. It's got Justin Long riding in a car.
It's all happy and then it goes dark. Yeah.
I can't really remember. I was just like, oh, it's a horror movie, Justin Long. Fair enough.
All right. So you came into this pretty clean slate then?
Yep. No idea what's going on.
All right. And how did you feel the ride was? The ups and downs?
Well, to be honest, I was confused at the beginning because I thought, when's the fucking movie starting? Because I thought the girl and the Pennywise the clown was going to be like a 10-minute little prologue. Yeah, they're all going to die, and then the movie's going to start with Justin Long. Yeah, and then about 20 minutes, you're like, when's the movie starting? 25 minutes. When's the movie starting? 30 minutes. You're like, God, is Justin Long in this thing?
Yeah.
And then boom, he's in it about like 40 minutes or something in there. Something like that.
Halfway through. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I thought the same thing. It was an interesting piece of marketing. Like, they had a couple of trailers, but the Justin Long one was the first one I saw as well. And I was like, oh, I like Justin Long. Oh, this looks like, he's being funny. Oh, it went dark. Oh, what's this? Is interesting. And so I wanted to check it out. And, but I have to admit, I saw the other trailer before watching the full movie, and it's kind of more standard fare. It displayed the movie in a more standard manner.
Well, way to clarify, like, standard?
Like it had the girl and it had Skarsgård. It was more of a, it made you think that Skarsgård was the bad guy, But of course, turns out he wasn't. He's the first motherfucker to die in this film.
Yeah.
And I thought that was done pretty well, actually. The whole, she turns up at that house in the middle of the night and someone else is there. It's relatable. It can happen when you do your Airbnbs. But you think, because he's Pennywise and he looks fucking creepy, that, maybe he's going to,
Got a weird face, doesn't he? Like, makeup off.
Does.
Fucking weirdo.
That's why they hired the motherfucker, Like,
well, he produced the film. So.
That guy's got a killer face, didn't he?
Yeah, it just looks like a creepy pedo, kind of a weird. You wouldn't be surprised at it, would you?
Like Coach Burt, they just look like a pedo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Bill Skarsgård turns up to an audition. They're like, we found our pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or he turns up and they're like, no, we don't need a leading man. We need sick ex-murderer. Part is yours. Yeah.
It's quite interesting that lovable little Justin Long plays a villain in this. He does. He's a nasty piece of work.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good.
He he like I love the bit where he rolls up and he's all like in his car living the dream, the Hollywood dream, and then they're like, so and so's charging you with rape. It's like, fuck. And then you think, maybe he didn't do it, but then the more you get into the film and the more they show his character, you're like, okay, he fucking did it,
Yeah, well, he's talking to his friend, which was the cameo by the director was the friend he was talking to.
Oh, right.
When he's like, yeah, bro, you know me, man. I don't take no. And yeah, her fault, really.
Then, like he arrives at the house and then he's like, I've got to sell my assets to pay for this lawsuit. And you're kind of on his side there. And then he goes, he's, oh, man, there's some people here. And he ends up down in the basement. Kind of does what the girl did in the first sequence. Discovers the basement. And like when she discovered it, she was all shocked and, oh my God, this is like a sex room and a dungeon. And like he walks in there and the way they shoot it, you expect him to react the same. And then he's like Googling, can you put dungeon space, list it when you list the house or something. Yeah. He's down there with the tape measure and shit. Like he doesn't give a fuck. I thought that was awesome.
Well, in reality, you don't normally expect monsters to be lurking in a tunnel, do you? You kind of realistic. You're an adult. You're like, it's a tunnel. Yeah. So well done.
Yeah, that's true.
Well played.
Well played. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got an unconventional, what would you call it, structure to the story, which works for it because it's kind of surprising. Like you don't know where it's quite going. But then it works against it because I'd seen the trailer and I'm like, where's Justin Long? That's all I could think for like 35 minutes.
Trailer ruined you.
But yeah, then again, you are sitting there interested for the full length of it. And then in hindsight, I think about this film and go, not really much happened, really. Like, scary person, but in the tunnel, but not a lot of kills. Not a lot not too gruesome.
No. Well, Skarsgård got his head smashed in. That was probably the best bit.
Tell the truth, if I saw a deformed lady down there, I'd punch her in the fucking face if she came at me. I wouldn't be like, I gotta run. Yeah, get out of the way, bitch. Boom.
I don't know, but she had like superhuman strength, eh? That was the bit that I kind of didn't understand.
Yeah.
All right, this lady, and like before I get to that, I found it genuinely unsettling when they were down in the tunnels in the dark and like things would come out of the dark, like everybody gets that. You go walking in the dark and you get that little tingle up the back of your neck. You think, oh, what if fucking something was there? Of course, nothing ever is because we're adults, like they say. But you got that little bit, that childlike fear of the dark, and to see some fucking deformed naked giant thing sort of skulk out of the shadows, that's the nightmare. That's the thing in the closet, right? So I enjoyed how that was all shot, how like they just have a bit of light and then this thing would slowly appear in the dark. I think it gave me the creeps. It's kind of like The Ring. You remember that film, The Ring? And that shit was fucking coming out of TVs and stuff. It's just a kid with long hair over its face. That's not fucking scary, but you add all the other shit.
Sound effects. But still, in real life, I'd like to think I'd kick that child in the face. Yeah.
The child.
That crawls out of the TV. A kid crawls out of my TV. I'd be like, you broke my TV. I'd kick her in the face.
Yeah.
Like an adult. Yeah,
but this, and that would be my argument too. But the lady from the what should we call it, the dungeon? She did have like superhuman monster powers, right? She was crazy strong.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay,
let's explore this. So you wouldn't know when you're watching this. It's all unfolding. It's all very interesting, but you're like, what is happening? How did all this get there? You do have the homeless guy who turns up, and of course he's incoherent the first time he shows up to scare the audience. But later he shows up and now he's calmly explaining everything that's going on in the house. But the first time he shows up, he's like, get out of here, you know.
Well, was it
like he's attacking the girl,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, wasn't he came at her during the day when she returned home after the job interview? He chased her into the house, and you're like, but he's not really chasing her.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of weird.
He comes running down the street. Yeah.
He sits there and says, "Okay, she's a product of generations of incest." Okay, so I'm wondering. First thing I'm thinking is like, okay, generations of incest. You'd be deformed, but would that give you superhero strength? Or would it make your hips not work? Have normally people's nasal passages collapse from incest, you know. The other thing is, how long was that? We show that flashback to the 50s, whatever, and that guy's creeping on woman. So he's supposedly taking the woman underground and then breeding incestuously.
Yeah.
But they didn't have that long to breed that many incarnations to get to that. You know,
I don't think I actually don't think it was incest. I think what was happening was that he was just. Actually, maybe it was. I don't know. It kind of lost me, but I understood that he was just capturing like hundreds of women in his dungeon and having his way with them. But then they weren't really clear about that side of it, which I kind of appreciated because, like, they had the.
Well, no, the homeless guy says all that, but then I'm like, how does he know all that? That's, that was the other thing.
They kept that side of things pretty vague. Actually, they didn't really explain, which I liked. I hate movies that spell everything out for you. This one's just got, to be fair, a bit of mystery. You go in the dungeon. There's like. The first room, which was the videotape, your standard Saw murder room. And then you went down deeper into the dungeon tunnels and there were cages. And then there was like the mother room where you fed the baby. And then there was the creepy old guy's place where he lived, right? If the crazy zombie woman incest child thing was so powerful, why didn't it just kill the old man? Was it the old man's baby? Something.
The character's called the mother, I believe, in the script. So wasn't she afraid of going into the room where
She was, but he was so weak and shitty. Why didn't she? She had super monster powers. She could have just gone in there and fucking trashed him.
Yeah, and then why did he shoot himself? And why couldn't he he couldn't roll over and get the gun out of the drawer himself, like it was 2 feet away and it's just a bit too far for him. And then she's afraid of going in there. None of it really, it's a film you don't want to think about a lot, you know?
No. Yeah. When I watched it, nice dark room like you should for a horror film, and got into it. And there was a couple of scenes in the tunnel where I was like, oh, fuck, out loud, you know? But I was disappointed by the end. It just sort of crashed and burned to finish the whole. I liked how Justin Long kept being a cunt and threw the lady off the top of the water tower to save.
Best part of the film, absolutely amazing. But I was going to say, like, we wouldn't know what was happening until we got the Basil exposition scene where the homeless guy sits down and goes, all right, here's everything that's been happening over the decades. We wouldn't know what's happening. And then it's kind of a clumsy, lazy exposition scene. But then, we get the final chase. Justin Long throws the girl off the tower after. You think he's going to repent and go, I've been a monster my whole life. And then he's just straight into, okay, I'm throwing you off the roof to save myself. Awesome. But then the film shits itself by him coming down and saying, I'm sorry again to the girl and trying to be a nice guy again. Like, I guess he's one of those people that always just does what he has to do at the moment to get his way. Like, I just didn't really mean to throw you off there. Sorry. And then the monster kills him. And
could have been a nice sort of dark 70s ending if he just won and left. Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted him to throw her off the roof, come down there. They're both alive, and he goes, "I'm finishing you both off." He gets the gun, he shoots them both. He's like, and he's one, and he's the barbarian. At the end of the film, he's the barbarian. That to me would have been awesome. Like, he's the real monster. But
or just shows him going back and like going to live in that house or something. Like
he's like, "That's my fucking house. I need the money. I'm going to sell it. Whatever else is down there, I'm fucking killing it." Yeah, awesome. Love it. I'm in.
Yeah. Because, maybe there is an alternative cut or something, because that feels more right, even though it's wrong, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's, when you have a horror movie, the villain wins, It's great when the villain wins. I always think the monster should win,
Yeah.
But what's the other weird thing? The girl comes out and comes up to the police and goes, "I've been kept in a basement and attacked and da-da-da. Help me, police."
Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
We don't believe you. Fuck off. Yeah. That's weird.
It was weird. I mean, I guess you have to have a bit of plot armor as well, don't you? Like, there has to... If the cops went, "All right, madam," and they stormed in there, the movie's over, right? Or at least they could... maybe it would have been better if the cops had gone, "Okay, we'll go and have a look." And then the crazy lady killed the cops or something, And then the final chase started.
If she tried to leave there and it was night and there were more monsters outside and she had to go back inside the house because that was the place, they wouldn't come in because the mother was there.
Mm.
And then now she's trapped inside the house by herself. That would be, better. Because there is like sequel bait there, like saying she's not the worst thing down there. So next movie you're going to have more monsters down there, I guess.
Well,
so.
no, I thought she's not the worst thing down there was referring to the father, the guy, because we hadn't met him at that point when the homeless guy said that.
Yeah. I took it that there's lots and lots and lots of monsters under there.
Oh no, I didn't get that at all.
Then again, I don't remember seeing Frank, the creepy guy. Do we actually see him kidnap a woman?
No.
He just seemed to put on a uniform and then go look at woman.
Yeah, but then he had the whole, when Justin Long went into his room, he saw all the named videotapes and he put one on, and then he turned to him and said, "You're a monster." And so that was kind of this guy's been abducting and filming himself doing God knows what to women. So that was that. Yeah, so he was the monster. I get that. That's fine. But I don't get how they got a giant... And
Justin Long was the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But the mother, she looked really fucking old. She looked like 90. I thought it was meant to be like one of the women that the guy had captured, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like his mum. Yeah.
Well, like I say, he's been incestuous for generations. How old's that thing? Like, nothing else adds up to me. You can't think about this one too hard, but you just got to enjoy it. Right.
You're right. You do just enjoy the ride. And I guess that's what it was. It was a good, unexpected ride. Like, I saw the trailer and it just, I was like, ooh, what's in the basement kind of film. So, all right, check that out. And it was everything I needed out of it. It didn't, but yeah, the last 15 minutes just made me go, oh, was that worth my time?
It's one of those film. We're seeing a lot of things I noticed lately where it's a great premise, it's a great setup. They don't quite know where to go with it. What was that TV show on Apple Plus? Severance. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was watching that, going dragging it out. That's something that about half as many episodes, you could have told that same story, would have been fine.
Yeah, right. Or like Lost, where you start it and then just keep going because you keep getting renewed.
Yeah, and you got
Keep
this
coming at the
premise you
shit.
don't know what to do with and don't know where to go. And after I remember my parents loved Lost. They just watched that and they were really into it. And after a while, they were like, "Yeah, we don't fucking
Yeah.
know anymore. Like, fuck, it just does shit."
That's it. They just, it becomes a money spinner. And I think with this film, it played on, it was just a nice, simple story of you turn up at an Airbnb in the middle of the night. I like that aspect too, where she turned up at night and the house looks nice. And then when she goes out in the morning, the whole area is just fucked.
Yeah,
How many times have you done that, driven up to a place at night? It might look completely different in the day. I like
well,
that. But then, yeah.
I've had I booked an Airbnb in Chicago, which turned out to be in the murder capital of the world. Similar experience. I've also had the experience when the little key lock, you open it up, there's no key. You're like, what? I've had that. And what was the other one I did? I stayed in San Francisco, and by day, beautiful. At night, you're in Beirut. Like, there's like the trash cans out with homeless people making fires. All of a sudden, all the car windows are smashed. You're like, where am I? What is going on?
Then there was that time you were in a cage for 8 weeks, was it? In that guy's basement?
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, he fed you all right, I suppose.
When he found out that I wasn't locked in there with him, he was locked in there with me, it was...
It was all a ruse. It was a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Heads were tails and tails were heads.
The first 4 weeks, he thought he was in charge. Last 4 weeks, by God. Oh, well, he's never lived to complain about it, so.
But yes, as I was saying, the old explore the dungeon, find a secret room. Like, there's a lot of cliches in this film
it's a simple
were done well.
Idea, really.
Yeah, real simple. Go to the basement, find a torture chamber. But then the moment like when she goes down after Skarsgård, you're like, oh, fuck, it's like a videotape death room. But then when she finds the next door, and it goes down that massive tunnel, it was, and it just kept sort of, that whole section leveling up, I thought was done superb. And then Justin Long coming in was done superb. But then, just the whole, they didn't need to have the big monster chase at the end, I don't think. Maybe that's what did it for me.
No, I think...
If she died when she rammed the car into her, I would have been happy.
For me, don't explain it would have been a lot better. Take out the homeless guy and all the exposition and just have you trapped in the house and this stuff's happening. You never know why. It's like Dust to Dawn. You're trapped in a bar with lots of vampires for 2 hours. Yeah. Why are they all there? No idea. No explanation. At the end, you get like, oh, it's a pyramid sort of a thing. But that, it's just a couple of seconds where you're left to your imagination of, they've been there a long time and this is...
A little twist. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be explained. It's just you're in a house, there's tunnels, there's monsters down there, you've got to get out. That's all you need.
That's it. I mean, like the prime example of show, don't tell, I know they talk about a little bit, is like in Star Wars and the Force. Originals, it's just this vague thing they sort of talk about. And then in the prequels, he tried to continue explaining the Force.
The midichlorians.
The midichlorians never sat right. I can't, I get it. It's fine, but it didn't need it. We want a bit of mystery, Yeah,
the Force, it surrounds us. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's all I need to know. Yeah. And then you're just doing blood tests and talking about midichlorians, and you're like, what?
Your midichlorian count is very high. Shut up, Liam Neeson.
Yeah, didn't need that. That's
right. It's all downhill from there. Palpatine's a clone. Why? We don't know. He's just back. So that's the flip side of it too.
And then
you can have not enough and it becomes comedic.
Well, who was the original? Like, was Palpatine that got thrown down the shaft by Darth Vader, was that the original or that was the clone and the real one was the one that popped up in Revenge of the Sith?
Oh, geez. See, now you've just fucking flipped it all on its head. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well, I read it that Palpatine at Revenge of the Sith was the original, and the one Palpatine that got thrown down the shaft was just the clone.
A clone. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think those Disney Star Wars films deserve to be spoken about any more than that. I was surprised to find this Barbarian is on Disney Plus. Seems quite adult for that channel.
You know, this film was shot in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Oh, for $8.
I guess because it's cheaper, I imagine.
Yeah.
And then the outdoor stuff was shot in Detroit.
Right.
So, yeah, even though a low-budget film, it's cheaper to fly to Europe.
Yeah. And then Detroit must be fucked up. I imagine that's the daytime outside the Airbnb where all the houses and shit were just trash. They just turn the camera on and film.
Yeah. I've seen videos where they do drive-bys through Detroit neighborhoods, and it's like, this house, you can have it for $500, $1,000, you know. Kind of.
It's got a rape dungeon in it. And some tunnels.
That might be another $250 for a rape dungeon.
$250 in the secret Illuminati handshake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Justin Long's getting his boyish looks are gone. He's got boyish looks, but he's an old man with boyish looks.
Yeah, that's it. He's still the kid from Dodgeball. You could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
Yeah.
Did you see that film Kevin Smith did, the Walrus one? I forget what it was called. Tusk.
Walrus?
Tusk.
Seen the trailers, and I've watched YouTube stuff on it, but haven't got into watching it. No.
Well, it is worth a watch if you can find it by whatever means you need to do. But I think it has I've just ruined it. That's seeing we're getting there. That's my double feature. I'm going to double feature Tusk with
spoiler alert.
A Justin Long double feature. Yeah, I was talking about it and I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to jump in.
I got my double feature here. So if we were to pair this with another film and say, hey, watch these two movies at once, I would say the remake, I don't know what year it was, 2000 something, the 2000 something remake, The Hills of Eyes. Watch that one. That's a good one.
I have not. I don't think I've seen the original or the re-release. The Hills Have Eyes. It's got that's the bald. No, I must have seen it. That's the inbred mountain people, eh?
Inbred mountain people, yeah, and they're traveling through the in between spots.
Yeah,
and they break down. Yeah, and then there's just incest people deformed from nuclear radiation.
Oh,
unbelievable! Terrifying film. Really good. Really enjoyed it.
The remake.
Yeah, the original. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. No, check it out. Sounds good.
And then they made Hills of Eyes 2, the sequel to the remake. Oh. And Wes Craven made the original, and he came back and made the sequel.
Oh.
Piece of shit. Absolute piece of shit. Like, fucked it up. What a... Wes Craven got great concepts, great ideas, but terrible execution. He's just a bad writer and a bad director. I've said it. There it is, out in the universe.
And then he died, eh?
I think he's still going.
Is he? No, I thought Wes Craven carked it, mate.
No, I'm pretty sure he's alive.
Well, if you're listening to this in the future, he's probably dead.
At some point, you're going to be right.
Wes Craven. You will be missed.
Hey, Siri, is Wes Craven alive?
Wes Craven was born August 2nd, 1999, and died August 30th, 2015.
Boom. Motherfucker, he dead.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Sorry, Wes.
We better have a Wes marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a good film, though. Wes Craven actually made a good film.
Well, didn't he do Nightmare on Elm Street? And Scream?
Yeah, I see the good films.
Oh, I enjoyed Scream. They're up to fucking Scream 6 now. They're doing something that people are buying. So look, I recommended this for you to watch. Were you pleasantly surprised? Were you disappointed?
I enjoyed it. If we go over to IMDb, the cold-hearted bastards at IMDb have given this an average of 7. Oh. So 8. More to it upon second watch. 7.
Really?
Truly scary, like an average day in Detroit. 4. Did they change the writer halfway through? And 4. Surprised by all the love. There's a lot of negative reviews I was skipping through. I was surprised at the negativity. Like, I think it's enjoyable, but flawed.
Yes, flawed for sure. Like, lost at the end, but not enough to make you go, oh, that was shit. 4.
Yeah, it's kind of, like I said, rough at the beginning because I expected another film. I guess a little like Dust of Dawn. You remember how that film's like, it's a road trip and then all of a sudden it turns into vampires.
Yeah.
You go in there expecting a vampire movie and you get a road trip for half of it. And you're like, what? But it's an enjoyable road trip. It's really good.
Yeah.
This film is, you get over it with Dust Till Dawn because, you enjoy every moment. But this is a film where I was sitting there going, oh, what's happening? Where are we going?
Where's Justin
enjoyed
Long?
Yeah. Where's Justin Long? Oh, my God. I enjoyed it. Overall, I'm giving it a 7. 7 cat's meows out of 10. But don't think about it too much. You just can't. It's not going to make sense.
Just going for the ride. I think, we're getting... I think I'm going to be with you. I think I'm just going to go 7 women in a dungeon out of 10. I think we're just simpatico on this one. Enjoyable ride, but not perfect. Flawed, but a delightful journey. And worth it just for Justin Long's performance, I think. Deserves an Oscar.
Better than a lot of shit out there. Don't expect it to make sense.
If you want who you think's a hero to quickly become maybe not a hero, but then he could be a redeemed hero, and then he just plummets to villain.
Yeah. I was reading the writer-director. He wrote it as he went because he thought if it surprises me, it's going to surprise the audience. But obviously, he couldn't quite make the ends meet at the end, He obviously plot holes here and there, but fuck it, that's what it is.
And it might have been a bit of my budget is this, we're done. I wanted to reshoot the ending, but I couldn't, or something like that.
I think it's just not that smart.
Yeah, well, it's a good night out. Maybe not a date film, not a date night film. This isn't the kind of film you want to sit on the couch and finger someone to. Absolutely not.
Well, it's kind of a date rape film, isn't it? Like, it's about woman in peril, and like she's in there and going, oh, this guy's gonna rape me. Are you gonna finger bang your girlfriend to that while watching it?
I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but that's a little wrong, people. Clean up your acts.
Naughty, yeah. Wait till after the film.
Yeah, just do it to the Titanic and the Princess Bride like the rest of us, all right? Sickos.
So you be mother, and I'm going to breastfeed off you. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, not a lot of gruesome stuff in it. Not really. Pretty empty on that. I think the budget was light. Not a lot of kills.
Well, it didn't need it. I liked the suspense and the visuals until the story went off the rails. But we've already rated it, so we don't need to keep talking about it. Like, Jesus, you're yawning. The listeners have switched off at this point.
You started talking, so I got, yeah.
Yeah, it's how, man, fuck you. I come here every week to the studio and I sit here, I have to put up with your face and Eric's face on the other side of the glass.
Producer
And I get
Eric.
nothing in return.
Well, you're obviously making $1 million a week from this podcast.
I mean, this is one of many investments that I have.
Obviously.
But I mean, right now, I don't have the energy to tell you about what they are. So,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
So we probably should have ended this about 3 minutes ago, so we can just stop now.
Has this episode run out of steam? 3 minutes 50 left on the clock.
Your life is running out of steam.
Yeah.
What you need is... I had nothing.
Well done.
Yeah. First I was going to say big black cocks, and then I thought, nope, that's not right.
Maybe we'll just sit here in silence and wait for the clock to run out.
Well, nah. We could just... You could just end the episode earlier. And you just push the button, Eric. Push the button. We're not funny.
He's fallen asleep.
Push the button.
Eric, push the fucking